Hey, we're getting a Friday visit with Hamilton Mayor Andrea Horwath. So normally it'd be Monday next week, but with it being Thanksgiving, we thought we would ask you to come early. So thank you so much. How are you doing? Because I know you did have COVID recently.
I did have COVID recently, and I'm much better now, thank you. I mean, some lingering things, but I'm testing negative, and I'm feeling a lot better. My energy is back, but thank you for asking. Just in time for Thanksgiving.
Oh, right.
So happy Thanksgiving,
yes, but that goes to show that it's back, and flu season is back. Yep. So how is the city preparing for that?
Well, there's a couple of things. Of course, the vaccines availability is a provincial responsibility, but we are starting our public health clinics for folks who are at risk, highly at risk, and so that's happening. My understanding is that about middle of the month we'll be seeing some of the pharmacies and care providers with availability for higher risk people, and then by the end of the month, my understanding is it'll be available, the vaccine for for broader population. But I think it's really just the stuff that we already know. If you're not feeling well, don't go to work because it spreads so quickly. It spread through my office. I'm going to be honest with you.
That's when there were situations here at work here too, so it kind of started spreading around. So you're starting to see more masks around.
Yeah, it's that personal responsibility thing, right?
Okay. The last time you were on, we were just getting ready for the tiny shelters meeting that took place in the North End. It didn't go well because we had to cancel it.
Yes.
Where were we at with the tiny shelters program?
Well, there's ongoing due diligence being done by the HATS community, the group of volunteers, and let's not forget, right? These are dedicated volunteers who are really determined to do the thing that they want to do to help people in a way that's going to work, in a way that's going to be safe, in a way that's going to not only be safe for the people who might be in the tiny shelters, but also for community. So they're doing their due diligence as they have to do, and we're waiting to see where that lands.
And you want to hear from the community? You want to hear what they have to say about it?
Yeah, and we're hearing from the community all the time, and there's a spread of opinions, if you will.
Yeah.
And as we know, there are lots of things that we need to do, and that other orders of government need to do to help us with the root causes of why people are unhoused in our community. And so we need more supportive housing. We need more affordable housing. We need more purpose-built rental housing. We need people's incomes to be reflective of the costs of everyday life. So there's a lot of kind of more fundamental pieces. The city has been very engaged in trying to do what we can do, but our capacity financially is not only not able to take care of all of these things, but it's also not our responsibility, particularly when it comes to mental health, addictions, permanent housing, supportive housing. All of those things need to be big partnerships with the other orders of government.
And as the weather turns, it gets colder and colder, and these encampments that are out there. Yeah. What do we do there?
Yeah, and so we do have some plans around expanding the warming shelters. We have an RFP out right now to the community to identify where we can expand warming centers and those kinds of pieces, expanding the access to our libraries and our own kind of assets, if you will, to help with warming centers. But yeah, it's always very terrifying when we're getting close to the winter to see how it is that we're going to be able to prevent people from having horrible circumstances during the cold weather.
I want to get to Vision Zero, the road safety program. Where are we with that?
Well, it's one of the big priorities for the council, and so there have been some changes happening. People will have seen, for example, on particularly King and Main, the restriction on right-hand turns. We've undertaken, for example, a lot more reduced speed limits around school zones, all of those kinds of pieces. And the good news is those things are starting to show results, and we're having a reduction overall in collisions. We're having a reduction overall in the personal injuries that come from collisions. We're having a reduction in a lot of these little pieces. It's not a huge reduction, though.
No, because we did have a death last week, right, at the intersection of York Boulevard and James Street North. How easy is it, let's say, to make that intersection, to make that a no turn on the red?
Well, I'm not a traffic engineer, so I'm not going to, I'm not going to presuppose. But I think where there's a will, there's a way. There are lots of different ways that that the city and that other communities around the world, frankly, are trying to make it safer. And it's not just a matter of slowing down traffic and irritating everybody. It really is about the fact that our roads and our sidewalks are public spaces, and everybody should be able to be using them safely. And that's the goal. And so we talked about the the delayed traffic movement on when a red goes to a green, and we see the walk light go on sooner than the green light goes on for the traffic, to remind drivers that in fact there will be people walking through the intersection, and if you're going to be turning right, you know, be careful. So there's lots of different measures, and the good news is that we're very seized with this issue, and thus far small positive indicators, but it is, I mean, Vision Zero was pretty clear. 0 accidents that cause personal injury or death. That's what we want to see.
Thanks for coming on.
My pleasure.
Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
You do the same.
Are you thankful for City Council?
I am. You know what? The city's got a lot of opportunity, some challenges for sure, but I think the city's really an exciting place these days.
Hamilton Mayor Andrea Horwath. We'll see you next month.
Thanks.
We'll see you after the break.